Hi guys, welcome back. Queen Osset here. Today I'm going to do a video response to Tara of Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Hashtag my lovely Lenormand. I say Lenormand, you'll hear it pronounced Lenormand. I think it depends on whether you read it the French way or you read it the German way, which is considered or has been called the game of hope. Um, I learned the French way, let's just say because I'm self-taught. When I came across my first Lenormand deck, I was captured by its cute little size. There's just something adorable about it. And the very first deck I had picked up was this one, the Mystical Lenormand. And I still have it in its original packaging. You can see how beat up that is. Whoops. My business card is on the back of it there. Yeah, anyway. Um, when I bought this deck, I was not sure what I was doing. Sometimes I still don't know what I'm doing. But I was just enthralled by the imagery. And, every deck has particular cards that capture your attention, that give you a bit of ping when you look at the imagery, and you're just like, wow, I really like this. I like this. So I wanted to know a bit more about this, especially when I saw this card in this deck. I was like, what? What fresh hell is this? Oh my goodness, what is this Lenormand system? What is this Lenormand system? What is this? What is it? I needed to know. So I went on search and I started looking around. Currently I have over 30 decks. If you saw my intro picture, I have a lot of decks. I run an orphanage for decks that people have grown tired of, or they want to donate them, or they just didn't resonate with. So I take them in and give them TLC in my home. And so I end up with a lot of decks. And I'm a proud owner of quite a few. Anyway, if you go in and you look at the hashtag my lucky Lenormand, you'll see that a few people have responded. Diane Jarecki, Christy of Dead Cheeky, Jennifer of Jennifer Ball Spiritual Garage. And so I'm going to try not to show some of the decks that they already showed you guys. But I wanted to share some of my collection. So the Mystical Lenormand, when I was searching for a guidebook, didn't have one out at the time. So the first book to come on the scene was this baby, Rana George. This is a comprehensive book. And let me tell you, for several months, I carried this book in my bag to learn the system. And what Rana does say is find a system and stick with it, because consistency is the key to successful readings. Whatever one you decide, whether it's the French, Brazilian style, or the German style, stick with it. Now, on YouTube, you'll find Hex Claire, who does the German, Kelly from Truth and Story, I believe she does German as well, and Donna Lee Rose, she does French. I want to say Mary Kay Greer as well does French, and there's a couple of other people. So the key to getting the Lenormand system down is, again, study it, work with it, find a system that works for you, and then do it. Practice often. Um, do not attempt to read Lenormand like Tarot. And for those of us who were working with Tarot first, transferring over to Lenormand, see, I'm going back and forth here, could be a little bit difficult because, you see the tower, which is really not tower, but it's a tower, and you want to read it with the Tarot meanings, okay? Anyway, on to the decks. So, okay, I'll work backwards. I recently got this deck. Now, one of the things that seems to be happening lately is that the decks, you are being made huge. Lenormand cards are cute and pocket size and adorable, and Mademoiselle Lenormand, time, French, everything was cute. I'm giving you a broad history. If you want to know, get the history and all of that, we'll do that later. But right now, I'm just sharing my collection, okay? So I always associate everything French with being cute and petite and delicate. So now we've got these huge decks coming out, right? Let's see. The biggest one, the first one I had gotten was this one by Laura Tuan. I have opinions about a lot of things, okay? And I am not afraid to share my opinions. But look at the size of that deck compared to what it's supposed to look like. Right? It has the playing card associations on them, which is fine. She just blew up the size of the cards. And I think the back of this card looks familiar. I'll have to go back in and see which deck this is actually copied from. But what she has here, put my glasses on, is a guidebook. And I'm not even a comprehensive guide. Of course she has a guidebook. I'm not going to say that it's a comprehensive guidebook in that sense. She's taken the Lenormand and made it more of, I don't know, an oracle with a lot of different non-related, non-Lenormand related meanings and interpretations. She has, I'm not really sure. She has a lot. Like if you're reading for a particular situation or item or something like that in regards to money, or spread of the year is something that she has. And then depending on how you put out the spread, you read the cards in their positions. It's almost like she combined Tarot with Lenormand and mixed a system. So, as an aside, I have a personal, deep personal opinion about Laura Tuan. And let's just say, if you are one of those writers that can churn out stuff, crap, you will continue to be employed. It doesn't matter if the stuff has any value or if it's truthful, okay? As long as you can put it together in some sort of form that is sellable, marketable, then you will continue to be gainfully employed. Laura Tuan is one of those authors, creators, who just mix and mingles too many things. She is not even a Jill of all trades. She knows just enough to actually be dangerous. But there's nothing you could do about it once you bought the deck. Okay, rant over. Next big deck, Art Nouveau. My Art Nouveau Lenormand, I want to say, who's the creator of this one? Okay, I have this in both sizes because, seriously, let me see, I have the other one here too. Sometimes there's just too much stuff going on. But then sometimes the imagery is really clear. You know, that's your tree. It's just the car so big. And we have the lady holding the sun. Is it the lady or the sun? I mean, of course you know the card's number. We have a lady holding a letter. We have a lady holding the scythe. We have the coffin with that creepy face down at the bottom. We have the stars. Okay, so if you like that imagery, if you like that sort of Art Deco imagery, Art Nouveau imagery, and you like a big card, I guess, this may be a deck that you want to explore. Let's see, this one is similar. It's actually the same cards. They're just smaller. But there's just so much going on. How do you know what card that is? I mean, you'd have to know the number of the card. She's holding keys. There's just so much going on. They're beautiful. They're pretty. I can understand why the original owner passed them on. I've got them. I love them anyway. I mean, you know, if you have a lot of children, then you know what I mean about loving them anyway. They're all individual, and they're all have their own good points, right? So now I'm going to move on to, so I've got the Fairy, which is another large deck, the Golden. Let's see. Go to Tom Benjamin's site. He talked about this deck. Tom Benjamin's channel, the Golden. It's gorgeous. I just wish it was a smaller card. That gold, I don't know if you can see that, but that gold is fierce. Okay. Let's see. I have a lot of decks. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I do have, of course, Rana George. Box. This is put out by Llewellyn. This is another deck that has, I mean, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's very rich. I don't know if you can see everything there. But, you know, Rana George, I think she's Lebanese, so she brought a lot of her culture. I'd have to check that. Do not quote me on that. But Into the Deck, something that I truly enjoy. Let me see this. Then you have the Ur. This is a replica of a deck that I believe is in a museum. You can go to Kelly's Truth and Story, her YouTube channel, and see the walkthrough of this deck. This deck is, you can see the difference between the French decks and the German. inspired decks. It's the Lenormand. Of course, the Celtic. I have that. Maybe Lenormand. This is a Lenormand deck, playing card deck as well. For beginners, I would recommend this one. Okay. Of course, I have here both of the Bluebirds, the original and the one that just came out. I'm going to do a walkthrough to show the difference of the two cards here, the two decks rather. And of course I have my, this is one of my earliest cards too, the Blue Owl. See the back of that? This is one of the decks that Rana George recommended because of the wording on the top of the decks, rather on top of the cards. Okay, let's see now. Whew, yeah, I have a lot here. My latest deck, one of my latest decks, is this one, the Scrying Ink deck by Ciolo Thompson, the creator of the Hedge Witch Oracle. Watercolor paintings, very light, abstract, clean, very, very clean imagery. Maybe very simple, too simple for some people if you need a lot of imagery and such. But remember, Lenormand is not read that way. So, you know, as Kelly would say, a key is a key is a key. Right? Okay. This is that deck. Let's see. You've all seen this. The Lunar Nomad Oracle. This is actually Shaheen had an oracle deck called the Nomad Oracle several years ago. It was a small deck, and these cards are huge. I mean, these cards are huge. Look at these babies. Look how big. This is a deck that has 43 cards. So even though it's a Lenormand deck, it's more like an oracle deck. I've edged mine because I edged it as soon as I got it, which is not something I often do, but I am in love with this deck. I use it more as an oracle. But then all of these cards, whether it's an oracle card deck, playing card deck, tarot deck, these are all considered oracles anyway. But you know what I mean. So I don't use this as a traditional tarot, traditional Lenormand deck. Oh boy, I'm tired. Okay, let's see now. Last year, Kelly, our very own Kelly from Truth and Story, created a Lenormand deck. Story in Color Lenormand, with a beautiful guidebook, which I keep in this pouch. I'm not sure if she has any more available, but you may want to think about getting your own copy if you can. It's color. It takes your readings, to another level. Let's see, I hope you can see the colors clearly. This is letter, dog, shows a connection. Dog's about loyalty. Lily. Coffin. The end. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this deck. One of the things that I noticed a lot of people had done was they edged their deck in multicolors. I did not. I have not edged my deck. Maybe I could bribe someone to do that for me. Put that aside. One of the other decks that I have here, the Enchanted Lenormand. This is by Caitlin Matthews and Virginia Lee. And these cards have the imagery in a bubble, so to speak. You have all of this going on here. The birds. I want to make sure not to get that glare going in. The mice. See that? The lilies. Okay. Yeah. To say that I love Lenormand, that's an understatement. I got this deck. Oh, there's another Lenormand person on YouTube, Georgina Toland. After watching her channel and watching her work with this deck, she has a method called PB&J. Just look for Georgina Toland, okay? And she does the Lenormand breakdown and such. I think she is one of the best teachers on YouTube. These decks, these cards are huge as well. Okay, comes in a box like that, and it's created by Liz Dean. Look at the size of those cards. Okay, and these cards have the guide words on them to help. So this is more like a learning deck. Look at that woman symbol. The book. And the coffin. I need to play with this deck a little bit more. I need to give her some love. I'm going to pull her out. Give her some love. Let's see. Let's put you over there. Play with you for a little bit. Then, last year, I was gifted this deck for my birthday. And it comes beautiful box. It's gorgeous, gorgeous box. Guidebook is ridiculous, like, wow. And the cards are insane. That's the back of the cards. And then you have, in this deck, I'll probably have to do a different walkthrough with this, but we have 2 activation cards, and then of course you have your rider, clover, house, your clouds, we have 2 male cards. One is Pharaoh and one is called God. and 2 female cards. One is called Priestess and the other one is called Goddess. So I thought that was very interesting. That's another one of my decks. I have a lot to clean up when I get done with this. Okay, so of course, you know, everyone knows about these. Got the original and the expanded. Love them, love them, love them. I got this one, the Burning Serpent. After, tell you, I'm a sucker for this stuff. This is a Robert and Place deck. I got Rachel Pollack did it as well. Let's see, can you see some of the imagery there? Yeah. I want to say that the imagery on this is very Greco. We have Hermes on the back. Kelly has a walkthrough of this deck as well. Of course, these two, I love a tin deck. I don't care what's in it. I just love the idea of decks in tins. The Lilac and Cherry. This is 2 decks in one. Of course, this one just came out by Alexander Mostruk. Gilded edging, antique look, playing card insertion. Yes. Okay. Whew. This is going on quite a bit. Just a few more and I'm almost done. Here's another deck that's Robert and Places. It's playing cards, but not playing cards. Okay, it's a playing card deck, the Hermes playing card deck, but it's also a Lenormand deck. So you have the playing cards, you have Lenormand, see the anchor here, with the playing card associations as well. See? Okay. Robert and Places deck. Of course, I have a Piatnik. All right. No person worth their salt, I think. Whether you love it or not, you know, some things you should just have. The Piatnik is, okay, it's not a favorite of mine, favorite, you know, but I still like it. So, and these are fairly inexpensive as well. These cost maybe about 1/3 the price of a tarot deck. And nowadays, most tarot decks are going for $25, $30, and that's if you're buying a mass market deck. But this is just a different system to learn. Of course, Under the Roses. I like the concept of Under the Roses because it has the keywords, guide words on the cards, but they are so faint that you may as well just go ahead and learn them. But this is another deck that also has 2 men, 2 women, and 2 child cards as well. Let's see. I liked, they're of course not in order. So depending on my clientele, seriously, I can use this deck to read for whoever is sitting at my table currently. Okay. You can see all three of these here. That one. Okay. And that one. You see that? Because, you know, my clientele, sometimes these things matter to them. You know, they want to be sure that I can relate to them by what I have, the tools that I'm using. And that's why sometimes a deck like the Color in Story with just color is absolutely ideal. When I'm going to a place that I'm not really sure what the clientele is going to be like. And then I have this deck. It's a Lenormand, but it's not a Lenormand. It's called the Witchery Oracle. And you would read it like a Lenormand deck, but it's not. I don't. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to show you. Maybe you might want to take a look at it somewhere down the line. But you do have cards that are Lenormand. And then you have cards that are not. We have the Lady here. And you have the stars. So that's called the Witchery Oracle. Anyway, let's see. I have, I have two special decks. I keep one in here and one in here. Obviously, that I had gotten from our very own Christy Dead Cheeky. And one is a square Lenormand deck. I mean, just, oh my gosh. Look at that. It's square, it's purple, it's the black rose on the back. Okay. Let's, it's just a gorgeous deck. I think it is. My favorite cards are, let's see, what was that? No mistaking that for a moon. And we've got the dog there. And we've got the clouds. How about the fox? And we have himself. And the woman, who I believe is Annabelle. We have that one. That's the black rose. And then in this tin used to house mints a long time ago. I have her fleur de lis. Am I holding it the right way? Yeah. Look how tiny that is. Look how tiny and adorable that deck is. Oh my gosh, can you see this? Look at that. I mean, it's just, do I have, oh, okay, here we go. So you can see the size. of what I'm talking about. Here is a regular size Lenormand, and here is the mini. Look at that. Okay. So of course I had to get this deck. I just love it. It's just adorable. And I keep it in this tin. In its pouch. Everything fits in here. Along with a very, very tiny tarot deck as well. You know, you've seen the tiny tarot deck that you can put on your keychain. Yeah, that one, right? I also have the Dreaming Way. You all have seen this Lenormand deck. Yeah, see, I told you I have a lot of decks here. Bringing it to a close now. I have this deck. This is another deck that I adopted as well. And you can read it like a Lenormand, but it's called the Fatima Oracle. It has 32 cards instead of 36, and it's read a little bit differently. Well, it's read a lot differently because you read it with reversals as well. The imagery, so the card numbers are not the same as the Lenormand, but the words are. So like this is card 17, and that would be garden, and that's not what that is. We have child. So this is a different system, but it's read differently, and the ring, etc. So yes, this is house. This is the Fatima Oracle, as I like to say. So the Oracle of Fatima. And I'm coming down to the wire now. I think I caught everything. So my current favorite deck, my current deck that I'm working with right now is this one, because it's clean, no words. This is the Oracular Lenormand. See your paths, your ring, your anchor. Okay, this is a little Scarabeo deck. So that big box that I showed you at the beginning of all of this, what a mess I have here. Oh my gosh. Oops. Let's see. That big box housed these cards. Why do we need such a big box for this little deck of cards? And it also had a great guidebook too, but they could have consolidated it, made a smaller book, and put the cards in another type box. I'm not sure if you're getting the glare, but that's the back of it there. So that's my video response to Tarot of Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Hashtag my lovely Lenormand. Take care.